Okay, Stephen. Some of your most popular video clips have been very self-effacing. The reaction of you as you've backed one and it's got beaten, and you're cheering at home, and it's oh my god. The paradox that you take yourself very seriously, as we've just seen, but also you don't mind people enjoying. Now, I've written this down trying to be clever. Schadenfreude, I
What
think
the
it is.
hell
What
is
it
that?
really means is people that take pleasure in other people's misfortunes.
Right.
Now, do you think that says more about other people than you?
Absolutely. Look, growing up as a kid, one of the people that I loved was a comedian. You might know him, Simon. Jack D. Do you know Jack D?
I don't know him personally. I've seen him on the telly.
Okay, stand-up comedian who is so blunt and he never laughs at his own jokes. He's very serious. I was also a huge Ricky Gervais fan. I think people in life who take themselves too seriously need to lighten up, to be quite frank. Life's a very short ride. It's a very fruitful ride, and it's a bit of a roller coaster. I think the ability to laugh at one's own perils, especially when you're losing, is a great thing. And look, I put a video up on Twitter last week, and it was a horse that got beat in a photo finish ridden by James Doyle. The horse is called Probani, a gelding of William Haggis's. He just got touched off. I advised a 1-point double that paid 7-4, but this horse was 2-5 on. The winner won at 4-5. I got a load of abuse for tipping apparently a 2-5 shot, which I didn't. It was in a double, but the video got 30,000 views in 24 hours. You want to see that content, so I'm going to keep feeding it to you because you love it. The next day, I tipped up a Stevie Donahue horse who won at Chelmsford or Wolverhampton for Charlie Fellows. That won at 9-4, and it only got 6,000 views. 30,000 for a loser, 6 for a winner. People love to see you losing. They can embrace it because, hey, with racing, you're going to lose more than you win the majority of the time. So I think it's a great thing. I think the videos are unique. People love them. People WhatsApp me all the time saying, Blogsy, that video has absolutely killed me. You've destroyed me. You've cheered me up. So I know it makes people happy, and I'll continue to do that.
I must admit, this isn't in the questions, but some of the times you sound like you are really, really desperate for those horses to win, and that your life depends on it.
Right.
Now, is that because you're passionate about any bet you have, or do you sometimes have too much on?
Hey, look, I gamble within my means for a start. My bills are paid, my rent's paid. I'm able to go on nice holidays with the missus and, you know, buy her the odd handbag here and there. Not too many, hopefully. But always gamble within your means, and that's something I'm very serious about. I'm not gambling beyond mine. I do put a bit of passion into the videos, and you've got to make them a bit funny. But I think most punters, if they're honest, you know, when they're at home watching the TV, what are they really saying that people can't see? You know, they're effing and they're blinding and, oh, come on, get out of trouble. We've all been there. We're all punters. Let's not pretend we're not. But as we all know, on Twitter, Simon, everyone's a winner. So,
Absolutely.
you know.
I'm going to skip a few questions and go to the next one. So how important to your enjoyment of horse racing is your betting?
I mean, look, horse racing and betting is one in one. One goes with the other. You know, let's pretend this is the Racing Post. You're going to read form, you're going to analyse form, and then you're going to probably have a bet. Does not betting mean that I wouldn't like horse racing? No, absolutely not. Do I go to watch Arsenal play football and have a bet? Majority of the time, no. I just watch them play and I love it. Horse racing and betting go hand in hand. It does make it a bit more enjoyable. Let's not lie about it. You know, when you've got a bet on a horse and it's coming down to the final furlong and you're head to head and your heart's pumping, it's a hell of a thrill. So, look, you know, this year, I'm more of a jumps man, but this year on the flat with Alpha Centauri, with Roaring Lion, with Lati Dar, with Too Darn Hot, it's been an exceptional year for racing, and it's really enthralled me this year with the flat. And I haven't had a bet on a lot of those races. I've just been watching them. Excuse me. And I don't think you have to bet to love racing. Watching a thoroughbred in full flow is truly a brilliant thing. It's really exciting. They're big, powerful animals. And I remember being around horses in Ireland and seeing the size of these beasts. And when I was 7 years old, my nephew put me on a horse and I shat myself. I didn't realise how high you are. And when a horse chucks his head up, it's quite dangerous. They're so powerful. So, look, betting goes hand in hand, but it's not the be-all and end-all.
Well, there appeared to be a point in your Twitter career where you used to, like we talked about before, go up to trainers, stick the phone in front of them and ask them questions, film it, put it on Twitter. That seemed to shift from approaching the great and the good onto betting and tipping. Now, was this a conscious decision?
No. Unfortunately, I was asked not to interview trainers on racecourses anymore by certain powers to be. It was quite crushing. It was a big blow. Simon, if I come up to you and ask, can I talk to you, whose choice is that?
It's mine and yours.
Exactly. It's private between the two of us, right? So to be told that I'm not allowed to go up to Nikki Henderson, who always talks to me, to Joe Tizard, who always talks to me, who if I see Jessica Harrington, she always talks to me, was a huge blow. And that's why, sorry to tell all of you, that content stopped coming besides tracks over in Ireland and potentially at the races tracks. It's a sad day, but I think this will lead to one of your future questions. So that's the reason why it moved more to tipping, because I had to still produce content. And content, obviously, is what you need when you use a social media platform.
So Tipster's Lot is a perilous one, especially on social media. You're only as good as your last winner. And as we talked about, Twitter trolls are brutal. Do you regret going down that route?
I love reading form. I love having a cup of coffee, or in my case, a bag of coffee. Sitting here and getting stuck in. I find it fascinating. I have done since the age of 14. Do I regret tipping? No, I enjoy it. And I'll tell you what it does allow me to do. It allows me to produce my own videos, to edit my own videos, and to work on my own producing skills as an interviewer. So I really enjoy it. Obviously, you get people, I've already talked about the trolls, who set up multiple accounts under fake aliases, fake names, who come after you. It's very sad, it's very bitter. And then you've got people who use their own real profiles who come after you and sprout off a load of nonsense. It's incredible, it's sad. I don't regret anything though. Everything I've done, I've enjoyed. And I love dissecting form. I think I'm really good at analysing a race. I think my videos are some of the best out there on social media. Hashtag humble brag. Hashtag this is where the Americans always beat us. They're brash and they're rash, and that's why they're winners in life. I think the British people can take a lot from the Americans in that sense. But no, I really enjoy it, Simon. And I think when it's more stable, I've had so much going on at certain times, it has potentially been a bit here, there and everywhere. But when it's stable, I think it's brilliant, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
There's a question here that you've seen all the questions, and I thought you'd probably get a bit bristly about it, but you've agreed that I can ask it. Now, there's been several accusations made on Twitter, and there's even a thread out there having a go at you about contradictory statements that you've made in the past and bets that you put up and removed tweets and stuff like that. Is any of that founded? Do you regret anything like that? I mean, what have you got to say about those sort of accusations?
I regret nothing. Probably the only thing that I regret in my whole time on social media was the childish, silly, boyish video towards Lizzie Kelly. That's the only thing. It was just a silly, nonsensical tweet where I was being silly, I was being laddish, and it was just silly banter. It wasn't malicious. That's the only thing that I regret. Hey, it's my Twitter. If I want to close it tomorrow, I'll close it tomorrow. If I want to delete tweets, I'll delete tweets. It's my Twitter. Celebrities delete tweets every day. But in regards to actually deleting tips, as we all know, we've got the 1 point, the 2 point, the 3 point, and the 4 point. Since my return to Twitter, I'm not sure what I was doing before. I was doing that, yeah.
You're doing the white doves and stuff like that.
The doves. We've got the chicken. We've got the bumblebee now. We've got the unicorn and the dove. I love those emojis, by the way, as we all know. And I did delete a few bets, but they weren't bets that I advised people to put up. They were bets that I stuck up a minute before the race, and then I deleted. Now, I've also deleted winners because I just don't want big betting slips on my Twitter feed, like I'm having a monkey on a horse. It might influence people who are a bit more vulnerable, not younger, because old people are just as vulnerable as young people. And I thought, hey, do you know what? Just take that monkey bet off there, take that £1,500 bet off there. It might encourage someone to bet beyond their means. But it's my Twitter page. I'll do as I want. I'll produce content as I want. And for those of you that continually want to try and slander me and get in that cylinder effect, the big old Twitter cylinder where you all jump on the bandwagon, you all jump in and you try and suck each other up, you're the losers in life. Because, hey, I'm winning. I'm enjoying life. I'm having a great time here. And at the end of the day, I sleep easy.
Well, I was going to say next, what would you say to your critics? You're on a road. You want to say anything more to them?
Oh, the critics. Keep critiquing. You're entitled to your opinion, but try and keep it an opinion that's formulated with common logic and sense. Try not just to be a moron, because a lot of you, unfortunately, as I've already said, and let's not try and repeat it, have issues and mental issues. And then, look, you know, maybe some of you need to find a new hobby in life. Go out there for a long walk, maybe get a girlfriend. I think a lot of these trolls don't have women in their lives, or if it's a woman trolling. I've had women trolls as well, believe it or not. You know, come after me even harder at times. But I think you probably need to have a look at your life and just reevaluate that life's a short ride. You're going to die one day, and do you really want to die being a bitter old fart? Because a lot of you on Twitter seem to really have an issue. I mean, I've seen people who don't deserve abuse get abuse all the time. And you just sit there reading some of the stuff you see on Twitter and you cringe. It's just disgusting. So, hey, keep critiquing, because you're allowed to. Social media is a place to be objective. It's a place where you're allowed to have an opinion. You know, Piers Morgan and Katie Hopkins stir incitement to get your reaction, to get traction. But just think before you speak. And if you are in an angry mood and you sit down at your laptop or on your mobile phone, maybe put it down and think, hey, do you know what? What I'm saying on here is actually in public. I'm making a fool of myself.
So we're going to stick on, I've gone through the 3 questions again. We stick on the tipping and the form and stuff. How much time would you spend studying form, and do you have a specific angle?
Oh, I mean, look, you know, people will be amazed at how much time I actually spend reading form. A little snippet into what I do. On Sunday, I will look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday's cards on the Racing Post. I'll identify the prospective races that I'm potentially going to have a bet in. And if I see a horse who I've been waiting for, I'll know on Sunday that I'm backing this on Thursday or Tuesday or Friday. Overnight, the night before at 4:30, I'll be on Oddschecker looking for the first available price. I'll have the exchange running at the same time, trying to get any advantage I can as a punter. And I'm very, you know, I've got my head in the form book every day. I'm very in tune with what's going on. I've been spending a lot of time since working for BetDAQ, really getting stuck in. And I'm very up to date with everything that's happening. I've got some good anti-post bets running at current times, and I love reading form. So for me, it's a pleasure to do it. Probably spend a bit too much time doing it. It does take over your life at times. In relation to my style of betting, I believe there's terrific value to be had at the front end of the market. I like backing at the front end of the market. I'm successful at doing it. I'm good at doing it. I've got a unique ability at finding a horse that's 7-4 when it opens that I know will go off 10-11 on. And my P&L will show that over the next few months. I'm going to continually beat the markets because I know that a horse is going to be backed by the public. I know that a horse should be shorter because I know his potential, especially on the jumps.
So you just said that you're not frightened of backing the short one. I think everybody that follows you on Twitter knows that. So how do you gauge when an odds-on shot is still good value?
Because on multiple occasions I've tipped up a horse at 8-11 on, that's gone off 4-9 on. You know that the public are going to get stuck into a certain horse based on what it's done. You know if a big trainer's booked a big jockey, you can have a look at its future entries. And also, Simon, the biggest clue to horse racing is watching a race. If you've watched a 2-year-old run first time out, and he's been green, he's been a bit raw, he's been a bit shady, and you know he's with a trainer like Sir Michael Stout, whose 2-year-olds or Aidan O'Brien's improve a bundle, and you've spotted that. You've seen one that's finished 7th of 10, you know, over at Gorham Park or over at Chelmsford. You know next time Ryan Moore's on that, that's going to be going hell to leather. So as a punter, it's your job to have a look at these horses that you think are going to improve next time. Be ready on Oddschecker to find the best price with whatever bookie it is and get in there.
So you're putting your tips online. The last time I looked, you had over 17,000 followers. It's enough pressure putting the sort of bets that you're talking about, monkeys on horses, for yourself. So does it play on your mind that you have 17,000 people potentially that are all going to rise or fall with what selections you put up?
Absolutely. And as I've got older, as I've been working in the industry, I feel a sense of responsibility for... I wouldn't call them irresponsible. I'd call them people who potentially might gamble beyond their means. Whenever I put every tip I ever put on social media now will only be done in video form. I'm not a lackadaisical person who's just going to write 1 point win, Alpha Centauri, Leopardstown. I'll do a 2-minute video explaining why, how, and the price, and why I'm going to beat it, and hopefully that horse wins. I feel a huge sense of responsibility for me, not just winning, but turning a profit, because I respect my viewers. For everyone who follows me, for all of you who don't follow me but check on my page every day, I also respect you for checking in on me. And I know there's a lot of you because my traction figures prove I've got more than 17,000 people hitting on me, you little snakes. So I do feel a big sense of responsibility. And look, to hit a 2-minute 20 video in presentation form takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of you know, mathematical stuff goes into it. And I do feel a big sense of responsibility, and I hope to win for all of you at home. Let's beat the bookies.
And just quickly, some people are saying, you know, the profit and loss isn't sure. Are you going to start putting your profit and loss up, or do you already?
I do. Since I've got my Twitter page back, as you all know, I lost it there really tediously over stupidity. It will all be up there, and it is already up there since I got my account back.